in Seattle. It was all going downhill. They opened up the 20-point lead, and I'm sure that people got deja vu from the past couple losses against NFC West opponents. 36-24 San Francisco over the Seattle Seahawks. The 49ers had Brock Purdy. The Seahawks didn't. The 49ers had George Kittle. The Seattle Seahawks didn't. And the 49ers had a rookie class that did exactly what they needed it to do and exactly what they'll need it to do if they're to stay in Super Bowl contention. There was so much at stake in this game. For week 6, I'd never seen a bigger variance depending on what the outcome would be. If the 49ers had lost this game, it would have been 0-4 in NFC play, 0-3 in NFC West play, and 2-4 as a team. But by winning, they're actually in first place in the NFC West. Isn't that insane? Just that differential. So there was a lot on the line here in week 6. And Seattle's been a house of horrors for the 49ers in the past, but they've now beaten the Seahawks 6 straight times because they're doing the type of stuff that you need to do when things get dicey. Now, things were only close because of a kickoff return for a touchdown from the Seattle Seahawks. That was Laviska Shenault. Bad tackling from the 49ers, terrible angles, and it was inexcusable because that got Seattle back into the game after the 49ers had built a 20-point lead. But the way that San Francisco responded is what should have people thinking, okay, this is a championship caliber team. They've got that medal. Now they have to keep on building. Nobody's saying that they're perfect. There's a ton of stuff they need to clean up. They need to heal up. But they were playing injured on both sides of the ball, on the road, in a hostile environment, with things snowballing against them, and they still found a way to get it done. And, you know, you can't even say that the special teams was an all-out disaster for the 49ers because the punt game was really good. They kept on pinning Seattle back way deep near their own goal line, and then there was the blown replay call. D. Williams touched that football. But for some reason, they didn't show it to us in the press box, so I didn't know. I thought Kyle Shanahan had foolishly blown a timeout. I was wrong. When I saw the replay, it's like the replay officials were wrong on that play. So the 49ers overcame that. And they overcame that because, you know, I mean, you look at Brock Purdy and how precise he was today. There were so many parts of the 49ers offensive game last week that were inefficient, including the run game. And today, they eviscerated the Seattle defense across all phases of the football game. I'll show you the efficiency stats a little bit later when I get back up from the locker room and I'm able to edit something together. I'll put it up on the article in the San Francisco Standard. But they were green across the board. You know, the purple, which is bad, darker purple is worse. Green and darker green is good. Well, the 49ers had a lot of green, including Renardo green. We talk about the rookie class. Well, it started with Malik Mustafa, that early reception of Geno Smith. Seahawks were driving a little bit after the big play to DK Metcalf. No Charvarius Ward in this game, so the 49ers needed a big-time performance from Renardo Green and Malik Mustafa, the 2 rookie DBs. They were able to get that. When you look at that first drive, you know, coming off of the loss not that long ago on Sunday for the 49ers, I think they needed a tone setter, and Malik Mustafa gave them that tone setter. Then there was the 90-yard touchdown drive that only ended in a field goal, and we're going to be talking about 49ers red zone issues throughout the course of this week. They are still a major problem for this football team. I have my thoughts on those that I'm going to delve into. You can go to my Twitter feed to read a little bit more about them. This is just an instant reaction from the tunnel here at the stadium. But the 49ers did ultimately figure out the red zone enough to get the win today, and they did it through precision. I mean, they've got an MVP caliber quarterback, and they've got an all-pro tight end, and the 2 connections from Brock Purdy to George Kittle in the red zone were so precise. I mean, Purdy can't throw outside the numbers. I mean, he hit George Kittle with one of the most accurate outside the numbers darts that you'll ever see for the first red zone touchdown, and then he hit him with another one. So we talk about Malik Mustafa, and then I mentioned green in the efficiency. That symbolizes good. Green in the secondary. I think that symbolizes good as well. Renardo Green, with the interception late when the 49ers were up only 6, looked very dicey at that point after the 49ers fumbled. Renardo Green was covering DK Metcalf, and, you know, Nick Bosa was an absolute monster for San Francisco. He was in on one of the pressures again. He was in on so many pressures today. Throw airmails Metcalf. Renardo Green is in position to pounce, and there you go. the second-round pick out of Florida State, delivers for the 49ers. And then when it was time to seal the game, Seattle had all 3 timeouts. It was Isaac Guerendo, it's been a slow build. People trying to give Kyle Shanahan a hard time for running Guerendo early in the season. Well, the guy's 220 pounds and he runs a 4.3 40. You should try to give him a chance to work his way into the mix. He's slowly becoming more and more confident as this season has progressed. And then he shoots out of a cannon. Like Mariano Rivera, he closes the game. It looked a lot like when the 49ers sealed the division here in Seattle 2 seasons ago. And Jordan Mason, as a rookie, bolted for a huge game that ended at the 1-yard line. In that game, though, Jordan Mason got caught. Isaac Guerendo, this shows rookie maturity. Isaac Guerendo slid down at the 1-yard line so he wouldn't score, so the 49ers could run out a little bit more of the clock to hurt Seattle's chances even more. Isaac Guerendo finished with 99 rushing yards, so that actually cost him his first 100-yard game, but it also cost him a touchdown, would have been his first score. And on that play, I mean, you look at what happened there. It's unselfish. It's a play where he's not thinking about it, the glory of the moment. The moment's not too big for him. Isaac Guerendo decides to make a play for the team. And I think when you look at how the 49ers have tried to find players with good character, find guys that are ready for the moment because they needed guys who would be ready-made to contribute this year. This is not like a developmental league for the 49ers. This is a team with the most all-pros in the league trying to get over the hump and win the Super Bowl. The rookies have to be mentally ready to deliver now. I thought Isaac Guerendo showed that ability when he slid down at the 1-yard line. I mean, he showed the physical ability when he bolted free for 76 yards, but sliding down, that was something else. Fred Warner led the way with 11 tackles. There was a point there where Deebo Samuel and George Kittle both got hurt on the same play, and the 49ers were running 5 eligibles with Patrick Taylor Jr. and Kyle Juszczyk, Brandon Ayuk, and Eric Saubert. I mean, those were the guys going out for pass patterns for San Francisco. And on that play, Brock Purdy stepped up unfazed and delivered over the middle to Brandon Ayuk to keep the line moving. I mean, Purdy is an all-pro. Purdy is an MVP candidate. We saw that today. We saw over 200 rushing yards for the 49ers today. We saw Nick Bosa deliver 14 pressures, tied for the most pressures by a pass rusher in a game over the past several seasons. We saw Fred Warner just completely stick up Kenneth Walker early in this game. 49ers for much of the game were only giving up 2.5 yards on the ground per carry. Unfortunately, the kick return let the Seattle Seahawks back into the football game, but I think that's the way it had to be. It's never going to be easy. It's going to be torture to turn things like this around. But the 49ers did it to beat Seattle for the 6th straight time. And there were times in this game when complimentary football wasn't played, but when it really mattered, unlike the losses against the Rams and the Arizona Cardinals, the 49ers did deliver that complimentary football. Fantastic, fantastic win. And now they've got a little extra time to recover before the Kansas City Chiefs come to town. So the 49ers are now NFC West leaders. The Chiefs are coming to town for the game that everybody's been talking about, right? This is the Super Bowl rematch. It's one that maybe psychologically the 49ers need to get over the hump. They're going to have to take inventory of who's hurt and who's ready to go. The Chiefs will be coming off of a bye. The 49ers will be coming off of a mini bye. But this is going to be a big deal at Levi's Stadium, but it was probably an even bigger deal, at least in the present, for the 49ers to get the job done in this game here against the Seattle Seahawks. 36-24. San Francisco with the massive win, the gut check win. Rookies delivering all over the field. And, you know, I could leave you guys with this. Guess who sprung Isaac Guerendo free on that game-sealing 76-yard run? It was another rookie. It was Dominic Puni on the right side, the right guard. So at least 4 rookies today came up huge for the 49ers. They have all this veteran talent. They needed that youth infusion. I mean, this team has played 60 games over the course of the past 3 years. They're tired. Everybody would be tired. They needed the margins to be infused with that youthful exuberance. And they got that today from Mustafa, Renardo Green, Isaac Guerendo, and of course Dominic Puni, road grading for Guerendo. You combine that kind of production from your young guys with just elite quarterback play from Brock Purdy, whose rating was 129.3, and Geno Smith's was 65. Well, you're going to win a lot of games if you're doubling up the other quarterback in QB rating. You're going to win a lot of games if Nick Bosa is pressuring the opposing quarterback 14 times. Awesome stuff from San Francisco. I'm off to the locker room here at CenturyLink Field and take a look. This is what it looks like. We'll start walking, and I'm going to get going. We'll see you guys later.